Cash Color Campus, a high level of conversation on LivehiphopDaily.tv. And this episode is sponsored by Atlantis Clothing. Our Drug Lord, Atlantis, and Return to the Viper collections are all available for purchase at Atlantis Clothing. And if you are watching tonight between 9 and 11 p.m., you can use promo code Cash Color Cannabis and save 10% off your entire order. So please shop with us tonight at LivehisClothing.com. And also, I'd love to mention Minorities from Medical Marijuana, Minorities from Medical Marijuana United. Honored to be able to work with them this month. This episode actually kicks off our collaboration for the month. So you're going to see several talents from Minorities from Medical Marijuana United coming through. And I'm just honored to be able to share some of this good energy with them, during this year.
Yes.
And we're gonna start this off with my man Hilton Goo Battle. Let me get this correct. Hilton Goo Battle.
Yes, sir.
And I'm laughing right now because normally I'm super prepared, but I just learned so much about Hilton in the last 5 minutes. It's like I want to just jump into this right this second and let y'all know what I just found out. But Hilton, thank you very much, man. I'm so honored to have you in studio with us tonight, man. For those who aren't familiar with you and what you do, can you please just introduce yourself to our audience?
Okay. Well, once again, the name is Hilton Goo Battle. I the HBCU initiative director for M4MM. I have many tasks, many hats, but the biggest thing I try to do is to get us at a level of understanding some things early.
Yeah.
So with that, I help a lot of the students at HBCUs get paid internships dealing with companies and dispensaries. So that's the big major part that I pay besides logistics.
Oh, that's a great job, man.
Yes.
Now got me wishing I was back in college right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you've had an interesting route to this cannabis space like many others did. I know this wasn't your primary job. Like, I know your background. But when did you first get discovered to the world of weed and made you want to say, I could help out in this space?
When I say get to the world of weed, when I can help out in this space, when Roz called.
Okay.
Roz and I, she was my little sister since college, so she went to Florida State also. She got in '87, so my second year.
Word.
And so I've been a big brother to her, and it was like 9 of them. They had a group called the Crucial Crew, so they thought they was all that on campus. But I was the big brother, so I always want to always look after everybody.
Oh, I might text her that tonight.
Yeah,
hey, I heard the Crucial Crew was off the hook.
But since I've been blessed in my life, as we talked about a few things, I'm always the guy that connects the dots.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make things happen. So when Roz was doing M4MM, Minorities for Medical Marijuana United, when she adding different parts, she said, I know the person I need to make this happen. So she called me and just said, Goo, this is what I need you to do. That's generally what people do and call me about. So I got a few other people we can talk about that too.
I know, man. That's what's so Goo. That's how you got to the business side. Have you ever experienced cannabis prior to that? Like, have you ever been in
Personally?
Yeah.
Never.
Never, really?
Never.
So what made you? I mean, being that you never have, and you still haven't, obviously. Like you still were cool with coming over to this side.
Yes. I mean, one thing about it, you'll know about me. Anything I deal with prior to or current, I always do my knowledge. I got my research. You know what I mean? So I know the benefits. On a personal side, I know the benefits on a recreational side. I know the benefits on the medical side. I know the benefits on the business side. But just understanding our industry and the history, that's big what I know about. So that's why I wanted to play a part.
All right, man. So what I do know, too, is you started off, like you mentioned, at Florida State. You actually played for Florida State.
Yeah, I played for Bobby Bowden.
You played for Bobby Bowden, legend, man.
I played for the legend, cuz.
What was that like, man? Like for one, tell us about your experience at Florida State at that time, because we talking about Florida State. For those who are probably younger right now, living in 2021, you don't know the Florida State I grew up watching. Like Florida State used to be like,
It was it. It was us in Miami.
Crew.
It was us in Miami.
Yeah, basically
so
y'all in
that's
Miami.
all day. So we had a great squad. So '85 was about the year. That's when, as everybody know more of Deion. When Deion and his class came in, we were the '86 class. So I like to say '85 got it started, '86 made it happen, and it just kept rolling. You got to understand, for almost 20 years, we only averaged 1 loss for 20 straight years, and nobody else ever matched that record.
Yeah.
So that was a great feat, but it was some great years at Florida State.
Yeah, you played with some great players too
Yes.
during that time.
Yes,
man.
yes. And a couple of my friends went off to do real world good in the business world. I like to think about one guy who was in a situation where he played opposite from Deion. He gets to the league, win the 12th round, gets to Washington. He plays 12 years in the league next to Darryl Green, so he's never heard of. End up becoming a GM for the Detroit Lions, hired a black coach, Caldwell. They did really well for many years, but Detroit wasn't happy with the 10 wins, got rid of him. He left, went to San Francisco. Over there in 3 years, helped them turn their program around, sent them to the Super Bowl. And then this year, he became the GM for the Washington football team.
Yeah,
the Washington
they don't have a
Redskins.
name now.
You know what I mean? So, guys like that, and I can keep listing a variety of guys that we had played with us that people didn't know anything about and really did well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we are.
Do you still follow the program?
Yeah. I played a big part even on the outside of the program. You'll find out about me. I'm a little humble about saying where I help folks get to the part, but whatever else. But I helped develop a lot of guys to get to that next level. So still around in the program.
Yeah, how you feel about the program now? Because they're not. Again, we're not talking top 5, top 3 no more. They're not. There hasn't been that level in a little while. What do you feel like is the future for FSU? Right?
Coach Norvell.
Yeah.
Talked with him, spent some time with him. Really good guy. He knows this uphill battle, but I'm very surprised about the number of recruits that he got for us only winning a few games last year. And the program is looking really good.
Yeah, it's still Florida State, man.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to want to play there.
Oh, they definitely want to play there. But it's looking really good, though. I can say that.
Yeah, and one of the players you mentioned, Deion Sanders, that's actually your cousin.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Primetime, Fort Myers, as we say. That's Fotmyzers, Fort Myers, Florida. Yes.
Boy, look. That's talking about some stories, man. Talk to us about just one growing up with Deion. Like, did you know early that he was going to be what we see now, what we had a chance to see as far as him being a great NFL great?
Okay. As far as talent, yes, you could see it. As far as the showmanship, and I tell folks this, Deion was always a shy guy. He didn't talk much.
Deion Sanders?
Deion Sanders did not talk much. Okay, I'll just say it like that. Prime got better about talking probably about his junior year, senior year in high school. Yeah, Deion didn't talk much.
That's great. And you told me, I didn't know that either, but he started off playing quarterback. He didn't start off as a quarterback.
Always played quarterback, and then later in his years, they were playing defensive back and quarterback. But mainly, Deion was a threat at quarterback.
Really? You think he could have been we could have saw him in the league as a quarterback?
Not in the NFL. They still got a problem with brothers in the court. Okay,
bruh,
then, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you do. Still got a problem, But no. But college quarterback
Fields,
back
man.
at that time right there, mobile, agile like his was, whatever else. Because people don't understand, he wasn't highly recruited, in other than Southern schools because him playing the quarterback role.
Yeah.
It took that one coach that we had, looked at Deion and said he could be this threat because, back home we played everything. Kickball, marbles, baseball, swimming, diving. So we played multiple sports, and that's why, he got known to be the best in baseball and football in the league.
While you were on campus, though, you was aside from sports, you was also hands-on making sure the party kept going.
Oh, I made it happen. I made it happen, Cal. You know what I'm trying to say? So I made it happen.
From what I did my digging, from what I found out, Project Goo and everything, man, you had it jumping down there in Florida State.
Yeah, I listen. I can honestly say where I went to school at the time in Tallahassee, with FAMU blowing up like it did in Florida State, we had just a great relationship. And then the guys from UM hang up. But in Tallahassee, oh, man, we had it. We had it going on.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. From events to parties to shows. And I told you about them early days, we would have droves to come up here for the Freaknik, and we shut it down. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we talk about that way off air, man. We'll talk about that way off air. So, working on campus also helped you work as far as in the community. Like, I know you put together several organizations out there.
Definitely.
Speak to us about starting those organizations and how you did get sparked to jumping into community service and wanting to put your work there.
I'm gonna say this full and quick. I grew up under my dad and uncle were entrepreneurs.
Okay.
My dad was an outstanding football player. My uncle was football and basketball. My dad got killed when I was 8. My uncle continued on with the business and became a general contractor and made his first million at 33. So my uncle became one of the top contractors in the state of Florida, not black. Top
Period,
contractors in the state of Florida. So we built up areas like Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Lehigh, Naples, Sarasota, West Palm Beach, Markley, LaBelle. He was on a roll. Now, what that required of me was putting in that time and work. My uncle had this thing about you work 16, 17 hours a day, and you get paid $200 a week on a good week. Sometimes you don't get paid nothing. So coming up under my uncle, in business, that taught me a whole lot, seeing with him. But the biggest thing is I couldn't understand earlier with my uncle. My uncle was a guy who always fought for everybody in the community, made sure they knew what was going on as far as funding, opportunities, giving back, and everything. And a lot of people had a problem with my uncle because his last dream home he built for about 10,000 square feet. This back in the early 80s, 81, 82, and they told him he should have moved it somewhere else. He said, no, I'm from the neighborhood, so I want my house to be here. And I used to tell my uncle, I said, you do for people all the time, and they fight you. What's the problem? My uncle say, when you know, you teach, and when you have, you give. I said, not me. That's all I've been doing for the last 25 years is this. And like you said, having the opportunity to have the knowledge, to have the ability to help start up doing things and developing stuff. I've helped several of my friends in the NFL start their foundations, which are highly known right now, and then the feeding programs and projects that happen, not just in Tallahassee, but around the country. People hire me to do a lot of things.
Man, that's amazing, man. Like, so, and you have to take a lot from that. You helping people, you helping, like you say, some of your friends in the NFL start their organizations. You're doing a lot on the ground, even on your own. You have to take away something from that, such as like, just feeling like you're giving something.
I do. And when I decided to start doing my non-for-profit, we called it Project GOO. And Steve, one of my other business partners, he came up with GOO stands for Giving Opportunity to Others. That's my life.
Man, and now part of your life is Project Clean Slate.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's what we're here to talk about tonight. Yeah. Project Clean Slate.
Yeah.
So what is Project Clean Slate?
Project Clean Slate is a platform that we have that we recognize in states that have made cannabis legal in some aspect, recreational, medical, in any way. So if they're going to make these billions of dollars still, but we have so many people continue to be locked up who have these charges, no, we think they need to be free.
Yeah. And
so that's the biggest part, where we go into the cities, we let people know for the services that we offer at no cost. They register, come there, and we have legal attorneys there to go ahead and help them go through the process of getting that all taken care of. Because a lot of people can't get basic stuff with some of those charges. They can't get nowhere to stay. Some people can't get no jobs. They can't get other funding or anything.
And the worst part is how many people don't know that that they might have charges that could be dropped. They might have stuff that could be expunged from their record, and you kind of walk around just feeling like you're always a prisoner. You run into that a lot with Get Out the Vote. Like so many people don't know that you can vote with certain stipulations. You just feel like they walk around feeling like they can't simply because they lack that knowledge.
Yeah, it was on a side note. Was at one of the barbershops today because I made sure I wanted to be fresh.
Thank you very
when
much,
you got
man.
here,
Man, now that I know so much about you, I see why. You
had to have it fresh.
Yeah, you gotta get
and so
fresh.
a brother was in there, was talking about, he was telling another younger brother. He said, "Man, I'm 39." He said, "I mess around." He said, I hadn't had a driver's license since I was 20. And he said, somebody pushed me to go. He said when he went there, he found he had but a little fine to get it done, and now he got his license for 19 years.
And it's sad, it really does. The reason why I paused right there is because one that touched me. Like, I haven't had my license since I was like forever, and I could have got mine. I learned the same way. Like, I just felt like I had so many fines. It was just I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I looked up and come to find out the last fine, all them fines dropped. I only owed them $65. I'm like, let me go get my license back.
Go get it.
Yeah, man. And it goes back again to lack of knowledge, and that's even me speaking out loud and saying this. Me just not basically doing simple stuff had me feeling like I just will never get something. We got to get out of that mentality.
Yes.
Like, start opening your mind up to
Yes.
possibilities of not being in bondage forever, and not having to go without forever.
Yep, and it's tough. I wouldn't say that's easy because when that mind feels that way, it's hard for you to move.
Especially when we're dealing with what you're dealing with. You're talking about people who need expungements. You're talking about people who probably had some criminal backgrounds, and they probably didn't know that. And you really can't fault them for not knowing what you didn't know.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So Project Clean Slate is something that is in partnership with Minorities for Medical Marijuana. How did that combination come about?
Well, the combination really came to the part of, one, on Roz driving for, we need to make all opportunities available for people to be in the business.
Yeah.
Or being eligible for the business. And then a strong drive and brain trial by Danny B, as I call her, to make everything laid out and make that thing happen. So we've got great leadership with our group. I can say it. One thing I can say, I have to deal with 6 women all the time, and they're very rough, but they make it happen. They make it happen.
So what are some of the plans you have going forward as far as with the national expungement? I'm pretty sure, I know that you've had some events already. Like we're still early in the year for the most part. What else is going down the pipeline?
Well, the biggest thing I know we're going to start doing when we talk about in the fall, because more than that, you can see more people being out now, being involved, so we be able to get some area. It's like all the thing like we're talking about voting. It's about education. We have to educate folks. Now, as we talk about in the cannabis field, same way in the laws. Even though something should be federal, it's not the same in every state.
No.
And then you get inside the state, the counties want to act different. You know what I mean?
Welcome to Georgia.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to Georgia.
So it's strong. The biggest thing is educating everyone. You know what I mean? To be able to understand the process. There is a process to this madness. You know what I mean? There's some time where things happen. It happened in a couple of days. Yeah. But most time, you know what I mean, you're talking about some time, 6, 8, 9 months for this development, when people have to understand the process. I always tell them it's just like, losing weight. You know what I mean? You gain those pounds over many years, they're not going to leave tomorrow. So just put in the work and you'll get the look you want.
Let's talk about getting the work you're doing for HBCUs and trying to help these HBCU students get their feet on the ground when it comes to the cannabis space. Talk about how hard that is, because we're still selling. You're still selling what our community has longly held as something that's a negative.
You're right.
You're just selling that to some people who still have that mentality.
Bro, you're right. Because now get to the part where I deal with some of the folks, and I deal with my common area because I've done so much with HBCUs in the MEAC and in the SWAC. So I went to my comfort zone first. So knowing the presidents or knowing the provost, it helps. But you get to the career center and you break it down to them and say, look, here's what we're trying to do. When we ain't selling no weed on the corner. I said, hold on. Did I come to y'all about selling weed on the corner? I said, understand this. Look, I say, so why do y'all send kids in certain careers? Because it's where the future is going and where I said, well, let's back up. Let's look at the numbers and the research. It's cannabis. And I say, look, in our state, which we try to educate people, and they're in the best place ever. Talk about Florida. Florida has what we call the vertical license. And vertical license is from growing it to selling it. And so that's everything in between. So I was going through talking to one of the colleges and trying to get the career center young lady to understand. And I said, look, I don't care if they're a nursing major, journalism major, I don't care if they're a computer science major or what. They need this because you're going to learn all aspects of the industry, from IT to distribution to sales to marketing to all aspects. And so one or two things can happen. They can get a job in the business or learn to have the business or things concerning around the business. Yeah. And that's a major part to it.
Yeah, and that's a big sell because I've been turned down for interns several times. And it's for the same thing. Once they see the name, they get turned off immediately. Cash Color Campus, I'm not sending nobody over there. But like I mentioned, I'm in journalism. Like this is my bag here. That's it. Like I don't touch weed. There's marketing that's needed.
That's it.
There's all these things are needed. Yeah, we're
all the services around.
We're building an industry literally in front of your face. So yeah, I do need you as an intern.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's the big, like you say, the mindset, getting our folks educated on that aspect. So, yeah, it's important.
So I think that's dope. So right now you're starting with the MEAC and you're starting with the SWAC. What are your chances of moving into CIAA area, moving into?
It's gonna happen. I'm a big supporter of CIAA. You mentioned that. Virginia.
Shout out Johnson C. Smith. I'm an alumni.
Johnson C. Smith. Yes, my boys and everybody there. Lord have mercy. Joiners.
Yes, I was about to say not the coaches. Yeah, I went to school with young. The women's basketball coach. Me and him was same year.
Okay, that's my boy.
Yeah,
we coached together at FAMU.
Okay.
Yeah, at the women's basketball, and he left from over there. So I coached basketball.
For those who criticize HBCUs, this is what HBCU does. You always find somebody else who knows somebody else at HBCU, and it starts a whole conversation.
All day. So I was just with him. I go back and forth.
Norfolk State in the building.
Norfolk State.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hold that against you there. Us rattlers strike, and strike again. But it's okay though. It's all love. It's all love. Man. So Jordan and I, but being back and forth up there, I was up there for the CIAA for an event wearing my other hat that I do too.
Oh, with the parties?
Well, kind of, sort of.
Because I lived in Charlotte, you know,
Right.
CIAA
So that's what I'm saying.
like,
So
telling me
I
about
was
the
never
parties.
able. I was never able to go for years because of coaching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're doing MEAC or whatever else. So I had to go right before COVID, and I took my other person that I managed stuff for, Attorney Ben Crump. So I had been up there on speaking and doing and things like that. So I do a lot of stuff for social.
Man, you clearly do, man. Man, he clearly do. He clearly do. He clearly do. I almost want to run people back. Y'all missed it. For those who just walked in the studio, so this is my man Hilton. Hilton is cousins of Deion Sanders, and he just gave us a million great stories about all this, man. But yeah, I love the work that you're doing with the HBCUs. I think it's a need that we start seeing HBCUs start speak more about cannabis.
Definitely.
We have way too many farm and agricultural schools,
Correct.
agricultural and technical schools.
That's it.
Excuse me.
That's
Far
it.
too many. Far too. Especially when I was at John C. Smith. You know, in North Carolina, we have the most HBCUs in that state.
Definitely.
But one of our biggest ones is NC A&T. Is
Yeah,
A&T.
Yeah.
Well, if you can start turning out some A&T majors who want to get into this, start turning out some FAMU majors. You know what I
That's
mean?
it.
Start turning even Tuskegee. Like I'm trying to wrap my head around how Tuskegee hasn't jumped on. Well,
Jumped on. Right, we're getting there.
Yeah.
So, and then we've got two. Now, one thing we do, we got two law schools involved. We got FAMU Law School.
FAMU, yes.
And we got Southern. So FAMU and Southern are the first two that we have.
Yeah.
Drop this note, go a little stronger with the push of M4MM. FAMU and Southern are the only two at the moment. We're working on the other ones. Black colleges to grow and do research.
Yes.
And they got that funding. And for everybody in the state of Florida that gets a medical marijuana card or renews it, FAMU gets $10 for all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we got them growing some money, and that's what I'm trying to do for the other colleges. We're working on Virginia State right now.
Oh, you need to, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to them, man.
Friends, he left FAMU, now he's a provost up
Boy,
there. So
look,
we're kinda
Alabama
working with
A&M. We can run down the list.
hell all day, man.
Run down the
I mean,
list
we
of
can go
schools that
on.
should be taking advantage of all this right
and
now.
that's what I want our folks to do, to understand where it is as a business, where it is as the benefits, and most of all, where it is with the dollars. It's the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of dollars, you know, I was reading today about how the NFL is going to start donating, is going to start putting money in towards research for alternative medicines, they call it. They said they want to get people moving off opioids, and they want to put some money into research about alternative medicines. Do you think one of those alternative medicines they're going to do research on is cannabis? Like, do you think that we might see that happen in our lifetime where the NFL allows for that?
Might. There's a small group, I won't say small because the name is not hidden on, but there is a group that's pushing them towards that movement so they really can see that and understand that, because there have been other players years ago who really been pushing that. A couple of them got blackballed by the NFL because guys said, look, I'm not going to keep taking this medication.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when you hear guys say, we don't know what we took.
But it get crazy. You know,
Okay.
David Irvin with the Dallas Cowboys. I had a chance to have a conversation with him. He literally took that stance about 2 years ago, where he jumped on Instagram and said, you know what, I'm done. I don't know what I'm taking, and I'm tired of taking all these pills. And he just said, look, I'm gonna dedicate myself to cannabis. And now he has his own business. But
There you go.
yeah, he's not the only player.
But he had to go that route because it is rough. I've been blessed. You know, I played only a few years on the team and stuff, but never had anything broken or whatever else. But I've got, you know, a lot of my guys are getting checks right now because they have to go get their head checked out once a month, you know?
Yeah, that's the crazy part about that.
Yeah.
But we are seeing a lot of players past their career start getting into the cannabis space. You have Calvin Johnson right now.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Turley's going to be speaking this week at the USA CBD Expo. We're seeing more players become active, so I do feel like it wouldn't be too long before we see a major decision like that happen.
Oh, correct. And like I said, you get enough of them behind the voice, they can push. You know, I get a few guys involved now because a lot of them like to golf, and so they be hurting. So get some over there and that they can rub on whatever else. To my, ooh, I feel good. I wish I'd have had this. How can I get some more of that? And I just try. That's where I ease it in to educate them. A lot of them who don't.
Bro, I gotta get into golfing, man. Like I don't know how to play golf at all. Like I know how to hold a golf club. That's the most I know how to do.
That's the greatest thing you need to do. Once you learn how to hold it, you can do everything else.
You know, shout out to Danielle. I saw Brandon and Joe went golfing one day, and I literally text Joe, and I was like, Joe, you gotta teach me how to play golf. Like I need to be part of this circle. Like I can't keep missing out these meetings that y'all be having out here.
Now, people used to ask me if I can say it. It was like when I started playing, What did I like about it the most? I told him, shoot, it's the first time I can ride a cart over white people grass and not get in trouble. So I'm just telling you, that was me right there. I was out there all like this right here chilling. I was like, what? Y'all can do that? They ain't saying nothing? Woo. Okay, then, yeah. That just lay about me.
I feel you. Now it got me feeling like I'm about to, well, don't get me on this course, because I'm going to turn into a whole bad boy video.
Show it out. Show out.
I'll turn it into a whole Puffy in the golf cart. That's going to be me, man.
Yes.
Congratulations to your cousin, man. I like the fact that he's now taking the initiative. He's a coach of Jackson State right now, which is an amazing opportunity for not just him, but for the school and HBCUs overall. What did you think when you first heard the announcement that he was going to jump into coaching from this level? You know, not just high school, but now he's going to go to college.
It's him. One thing I can tell you about him, he gets into something. He just don't strategically, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people probably get that. He strategically picked Jackson State, you know what I mean? But one thing I will say about him, because, you know, some people hitting one way or another, he's doing that because he wants to make the impact for all HBCUs.
Yeah.
Not just Jackson State. And people don't understand that, because he ain't in there for the money now. Like he told them too. Oh, that was another good quote. He told them at the press conference, he said, you know, I'm here because I want to. And I think it's time for me. He said, you know, I left 400 acres and a mule back in Dallas. Okay? So, hey, but it is great. So, and speaking of that, we got a big kickoff. There's an Orange Blossom Classic, Labor Day weekend, Jackson State and FAMU, September the 5th in Hard Rock Stadium on ESPN.
Bro, I'm going to a goo party.
Okay. Hey,
I'm going to a goo party now.
You need to come on.
What you mean, bro?
You need to come on. You need to come on. Come on.
Actually, now I'm concerned. Maybe I shouldn't go.
Hey, and kicker like with D the same way, never. And we don't drink. I never had a drink a day in my life either.
So you just naturally high?
I'm just naturally crazy. I just be straight with you.
I'll be nervous to see y'all high.
I used to get give me 2 Coca-Colas at the club. I get my 4th one. I get turned out.
Oh.
Yeah, I just shut it. Never mind. But yeah.
I ain't got time for this. Do you think, you know, I've always felt like Deion was always one step ahead of the curve. You know what I mean? Like when he, just from his whole entire career, he's always been one step ahead. And right now he's a step ahead by being a coach of Jackson State. But do you feel like he might be the next former player we see jump out and say, you know, I got this new line. Let me tell y'all about this CBD cream. Let me tell y'all about this new plant I just found. Do you think Deion would ever jump into this space?
I think he would once he understands things a little bit better on the benefits.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah, all day. I really do.
Yeah, and I see, again, Deion's one of the people I feel like you need to see, as you're seeing Calvin Johnson's, as you're seeing more people like really start getting involved in this, why you're not. You start saying to yourself, why am I not involved in this?
Correct.
Yeah, you don't have to be a consumer. You know, you could be somebody who uses it for pain relief.
Correct. And it may happen soon. Now, I'm working on Jackson State right now because Mississippi just signed off.
Yeah.
They voted for it. So I got to go try to get before some of those other schools try to get.
Man, Mississippi's such a complicated state, though, bro.
Complicated ain't the word.
Complicated ain't the word. I rode through Mississippi with a friend of mine. She's white. I'll give y'all a disclaimer. She's white. We was riding through Tunica, Mississippi. Bro. When I say she saw a field, and it was this large amount of field. We just kept driving, just kept seeing field. And she literally turned to me and said, I wonder what they used to do over there. And I was like, I could give you a hint. I can give you a hint. Now, I can say this joke now because Lizzie, it was hilarious because she really didn't think about it at the time. And she was like, oh, shit, yeah, we are in Mississippi. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. They put people to work down here, and they try to remind you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Mississippi's a difficult state. I pray that you can make that work.
Yeah, definitely. We got it. Well, I'll make that happen for Jackson. So, because our big push is to get that foothold for HBCUs.
Yeah.
And everything, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I love the work you're doing for HBCUs. I love having that conversation. But Project Clean Slate. So as like you say, there are some things that are in play. I guess you're still building on some certain things. Are there anything that you want to point out that will be happening that you know concretely over the next couple of months?
Well, we got big movement with stuff that we have in some states up north.
I think I heard New Jersey.
New Jersey definitely is a big push, a big one.
Yeah.
Like I said, the best thing I can tell you is that once people understand what's available to them and understand the process, that's when the change is going to happen. I mean, you know, the best way I use is just like Stacey Abrams. Once you got people to understand, if you do this and we do this together, this is the change we're going to make.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to happen with this, with Clean Slate. It's
Yeah.
that freedom, man. Being free, cause when you feel like you bond, you can't do nothing, it holds you back from a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
Yeah, man. So definitely I appreciate you for coming through. I love for any people to take advantage of Project Clean Slate, know what they're doing, follow their page. We'll follow their page. Go to their website and make sure you follow up and see all the expungement clinics they had in the past and keep up with everything that's going on with them soon. I do want to tell people to keep up with you, but I'm scared to tell them to keep up with you, man. Like, don't go to no goo parties.
It's all gonna be good though. You make it home. Like, you'll make it home. You know what I mean? You'll make it home. You'll make it home. But yeah, man, I appreciate, you know, like I said, you know, I done my research on you too, my brother. And I just want to say, keep being the positive voice. Keep teaching the people, man. Keep making it happen. But we're going to talk about some stuff we need to do back in Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we could talk a lot more because I want to learn that Freaknik story that I'm definitely not having on air because ain't nobody blanking my show. I know every bit of that story gonna be epic and gonna be all kind of R-rated.
Woo, I can start from Washington Park, went initially, then we went to Piedmont, and then.
Don't have me go on YouTube right now and see old pictures of you in a cross-color shirt going ham.
Well, I looked a lot different then. I used to wear high top fade back in the day.
I believe that.
Yes,
I believe that.
I wore high top fade.
Boy, I wish I could have seen you and Deion in the prime time of y'all lives, man. Like, why was I not there for this? I could have rocked the Jerry Girl.
Yeah. Everybody kept thinking I had a curl. I didn't have a curl. I wore the high top fade. They just swore I had a curl. Yeah, you know. We did it in Fort Myers, you know what I mean? I didn't wear no jewelry, so we're the opposite on that part.
That's crazy,
we're
man.
We're just as flashy the same, but as you can tell, but I'm not the.
And you are an amazing character, man.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.
I feel like one day we just need to have a straight conversation called Hinton. Like, we just got to learn more about you. Because them parties, I feel like Project Goo needs to be dipped into a lot more. Like, I need to know more about these parties.
Definitely. Yeah. We're going to tell you about them good times. It's some good stuff, but yeah, man. Just, you know, like I said, you said before, it takes all of us to fight for the cause and do. And like I said, I didn't see myself in this seat, but I used to fight with my uncle about it. But it's when it becomes a part of it, that's just what you do.
Yeah. Brother, I appreciate you coming through tonight. Please kick it with us for a second and chop up with us and give us some more of them good old stories that you got from the past that you can't tell on this radio show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's Cash Color Kid. It's a high level of conversation. Thank you to Medical M for MMJ United. I almost want to say the whole thing entirely. And thank you for LivehiphopClothing.com. And we're out. All right, we're going to take some pictures. And you gonna